What's up, everybody? Hey, we're going to talk about a recap from last night, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. So, we're going to talk about all that when I come right back. Welcome to another episode of Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean, and today's sponsor is Ring Walk Boxing Podcast merch. If you look in the description area beneath in the comments, you will see the link for the merch. And who I was alluding to in before this intro was the fight last night between Amantis Stanionis versus Boots Jerron Boots Ennis. All right, y'all. So the main event, Jerron Boots Ennis. He is a fighter out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. Age 33. I'm sorry. His age is 27. And he's an orthodox stance fighter, but he's also a switch hitter, so he can fight from the southpaw stance as well. His opponent, Amantis Stanionis, record was 15 wins, no losses. Until last night, he was handed his first loss from Boots Ennis. Stanionis is from Lithuania, age 30, standing at 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. He is an orthodox stance fighter. Boots was standing at 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. Hey, what's going on, Cam J fam? What's good? Jeff Aladente, respect and shots out to you as well. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up for me, fam. Um, so what we saw in that fight, man, was kind of a the first round. Boots Ennis was filling out Stanionis and vice versa. Stanionis is trying to find his rhythm and try to find his range. But I would say from the get go, the first two rounds, um, pretty much Boots Ennis had his rhythm going, and he was like a step ahead of Stanionis. Although Stanionis was catching him with some good counter punches, some good right hands and left hooks. Overall, Boots was a more athletic fighter. He was smarter. He was moving around more, better ring IQ, and just it was just like a slowly Boots slowly breaking him down. A lot of body shots, a lot of ripping body shots, upstairs, downstairs, and he proved to be too much for Amantis Stanionis. Um, but shout outs to Stanionis. You fought who they consider to be one of the top pound for pound fighters in Boots Ennis, so it's no reason to have your head um, hanging down or nothing like that, man. You did a good job. You just fought a guy who was, he just showed levels last night. Boots is the real deal. And stemming from that win of Boots Ennis, of course, talks had circulated uh, with him and Brian Norman Jr. Um, and a a throwback time where he was calling out Bud Crawford, but Bud Crawford is not fighting on a regular basis, and he's getting up in age, so he will probably only be fighting maybe another year or two. So we're hoping or I am as a boxing fan, I'm hoping we get to see at the 154-pound division, Bud Crawford versus Jerron Boots Ennis. Two guys, high level ring IQ, both have good footwork, both of them are switch hitters. They have so many similarities that fight right there would be an epic fight. A lot of people still want to see Boots Ennis versus Earl Spence, but I think the better fight to me, in my opinion, is Boots Ennis versus Bud Crawford. Now, speaking of Bud Crawford, here in the future, most likely he will be fighting Canelo Alvarez. Coming up this May 2nd of this year, Canelo Alvarez will be headlining a card uh, in Times Square in New York City entitled Fatal Fury. Now, in that same Fatal Fury card, there will be a rematch with Jaime Munguia versus Bruno Soros. Bruno Soros is from France, and Jaime Munguia by way of Mexico. I feel like Munguia will get redemption in the rematch. Um, they both have power, uh, but Soros is not as fast as Jaime Munguia. He caught him with a beautiful counterpunch in the first fight, and Munguia never recovered from that punch. I think in this rematch, he will be more switched on. He won't overlook Soros, and he will probably try to get him out of there sooner than later. Because the longer he lets Soros make it round after round, it's the more dangerous it may get for Jaime Munguia. When you're fighting a person who has equivalent power or more power than you, it's in your best interest to try to get that person up out of there. So when it comes to Jaime Munguia versus Soros, I want to know what would be your predictions between those two guys. I'm taking Jaime Munguia to get redemption and to stop Bruno Soros in 6 or 7 rounds. Munguia is definitely the more experienced fighter. He's better technically. Of course, he's fought Canelo Alvarez, so that right there was a huge milestone for his career, to fight a legend like Canelo Alvarez and to make it to a decision, fighting a very tough Canelo Alvarez, in which I felt Canelo probably carried Jaime Munguia. He probably could have took him out, but he chose to get rounds in and let him make it to the final bell. In my opinion. Now, Bruno Soros, his record is 26-0-2. He's age 26, 6 foot tall, orthodox stance. His opponent, Jaime Munguia, record 44, 2-0. Jaime Munguia, height 6 foot. He's age 28. Orthodox stance. Fam, you say Cam J, if Munguia lose, it's a wrap for him. Yeah, I feel the same way, man. It's like a must-win fight. You know, he needs to make it happen, man. He's gotta be all the way focused, man. You know, can't overlook somebody like that, especially the guy that put you down after you put him down first. You know, so he knows that Soros is a dangerous dude, and I think he'll be on his pivot. Now also on that same Fatal Fury card, uh, two massive guys, Martin Bacoli versus F.A. Egjagba, both African fighters. Bacoli of Congo, Ajagba of Nigeria. Bacoli's age 33, record 21, 2-0, standing at 6'6", a giant, orthodox stance. His two losses are from Michael Hunter in 2018, and his current loss was from Joseph Parker. Now, F.A. Jogba is the same height as his opponent, Martin Bacoli. He's 6'6". He's an orthodox fighter. He's age 30, and his record is 21-20, one loss and 0 draws. So, what is your prediction for Bacoli versus F.A. Egjagba? That's a very good matchup, man. Egjagba is more of a combination puncher with a lot of power in both hands, whereas Bacoli's more of a wrecking ball. He throws a lot of volume of punches. He keeps plowing forward. So I guess the question is, will F.A. Egjagba be able to fight on the back foot if he's on his back foot? Because most likely Bacoli's going to be backing him up. So he must have some type of strategy and some type of strategic plan to fam. I got to connect. Please be patient. Oh, hey, what's up in Los Angeles? What's up? I'm doing all right, bro. How you doing, Lucas? You said who was Skull? Well, we gonna see. When I seen his footage of him training, he looked like he's too slow. And Canelo is a type of fighter who can pick up the pace mid rounds to late rounds. I feel like he's going to stop Skull. He's gonna probably stop Skull, man. 8 rounds, maybe the 9th round. Hey, what's up, Cuzzo down south? Greetings to you and much love. So I want to know y'all's predictions, y'all. F.A. Egjagba versus Martin Bacoli. Also, on the Fatal Fury card in the cruiserweight division, you'll have Ryan Rozicki. He will be fighting Badu Jack. Rozicki is from Canada. His age is 30. He's an orthodox stance fighter, standing 6'2". Rozicki's record is 20 wins, 1 loss, and a draw. Rozicki fought Oscar Rivas. I saw some footage of that. Oscar Rivas is very tough. I saw him in a heavyweight match against Dillian White years ago, and it was a toe-to-toe action war. So he brought the same type of tenacity when he fought Rozicki. And now Rozicki, who lost to Rivas in 2021, Rozicki will be facing off with Badu Jack. Badu Jack his record is 28, 3 losses and 3 draws. Jack is 6'1", from Sweden, age 41, orthodox stance. What is your prediction, y'all, for Rozicki versus Badu Jack? And side note, Rozicki proven to have a good chin in that fight with with Oscar Rivas. Okay, Smacky the Frog, let me know when you want me to join. Okay, I will let you know here shortly. Cam J, you said Bacoli for the win. That's what's up, fam. And you said Badu Jack for the win. What about Jaime Munguia versus Saras rematch, Cam J? How you see that playing out? And let me go back just a little bit to Boots Ennis, man. He definitely showed levels, man. Um, he was very sharp, man. Very lethal, very precise, and did a tad bit of showboating. And it looked like he even held back. There were times, I think that fifth round, he could have stopped Stanionis, but I think he let him continue, and then he finally turned it up. And then by the end of round 6, the corner of Stanionis said enough. They didn't let him come out for round 7. Um, there's also I saw an interview that I might have shared on FB. Shakur Stevenson. He was talking to a lady from the zone who was conducting an interview, and he said although Zapata fight was presented to him, he is claiming that Tank is who he desires. That he wants Tank Davis. He wants to smoke with Tank Davis. So who truly feels that Shakur Stevenson wants Tank Davis, or do you feel like he's just that's cap? Let me know, y'all. What y'all think? Does Shakur Stevenson really want the smoke with Tank Davis, or is he just capping because he knows that Tank Davis is already going to be fighting Lamont Roach, and Shakur knows he'll already be fighting Zapata? Yes, sir. You said Shakur Cam J is cap, so you don't think he wants that smoke, that Gervonta smoke. Smacky the Frog, I believe him. He has no reason not to fight Davis. Okay, Smacky, so you want to get a debate here soon with Cam J probably, and even myself because I'm a Tank Davis fan. So we'll get that going here in a minute, man. Um, so also want to talk about the Amari Jones versus William Jackson. Amari Jones from Florida, Orlando, Florida, and William Jackson from here, 513 Cincinnati, Ohio. In the first round, like the first minute and 40 seconds, Jones catches William Jackson coming in with 2 body shots. And Jackson hits the canvas, balled up, and he did not ever get back up. So pretty much by a body shot, William Jackson was stopped by Amari Jones in the first round. Jones is age 22, 6'1". William Jackson of Cincinnati, age 36, 13 wins, 6 losses, 5'8". Michael Ware, you said he's called out Tank for years, referring to Shakur Stevenson. All right, y'all. So people want to jump on. JC, can you drop that link for me, fam? Smacky the Frog. There will be a link in the chat below. So use that link to come on. You need some an earpiece or a headphone, your camera phone or your tablet. Hey Cam J, man, We got Shakur Stevenson fan, man. So you might want to jump on to get the debate going, bro. Okay, Smacky, that's the link right there. Cam J, there's the link, bro. And I didn't get to see the full fight. I just seen a highlight with the guy that was supposed to fight. Well, it wasn't official, but they were saying that it was going around in circulation that Deontay Wilder, instead of fighting Tyrell, he would fight the this other guy from Pro Box TV last night. Stephen Shaw. Stephen Shaw fought last night and got a knockout win last night. Hey, bro. Can you hear me? Okay. All right, come back, Lucas. If you can hear me, come back. Come back. Okay, Cam J, that'll work, fam. Okay, okay. I'll be waiting on you, Smacky. Yeah, just mess around a little bit, see if you can get a connection. I did see a interview with Dillian, the body snatcher White, out of UK, and he made the statement in that interview that he wouldn't want to see Derek Chisora fight Daniel Dubois. He feels like Daniel Dubois will really do a number on Derek Chisora. And as we know, for those who follow the sport, especially in the heavyweight division, um, Del Boy is definitely a warrior. He's fought everybody from Tyson Fury 3 times, um, fought Usyk, he's fought Otto Wallen, fought Joe Joyce, and the list goes on and on for a throwback fighter like Del Boy. But I think it's very dangerous if he tries to fight a young, prime, on form Daniel Dubois. So I do agree with him fighting Chisora fighting Daniel Dubois. Um, so yeah, so definitely if you're in the chat and you're on here, make sure you hit the thumbs up, please. Hit the thumbs up. To my Facebook fam, make sure you hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Um, hey, shout outs to my dude Jason Lease in the 513. What's up, man? I see your comment on FB, brother. If you can, come over to YouTube and hit thumbs up on the YouTube Ringwalk Boxing Podcast. Hit thumbs up. Uh, hey, what do you feel, Jay, about the Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson? Also circulating on social media, IG, Twitter, all that. There's footage of Tyson Fury still training, although he claims to be retired. He's training. I can understand he probably wants to stay in shape, but to me, it could be something more behind it. I think he's trying to be in shape because he wants to be ready if they get the money right for him versus Anthony Joshua. What do you think? Do you think Tyson Fury will fight Anthony Joshua um, in 2026? Maybe AJ and Tyson Fury can both have one warm up fight and then fight each other in 2026. Jeff Aladente, you said you missed Boots' fight, but looked like a massacre. Um, I mean, he definitely, you got to see it for yourself, but he definitely showed levels. Um, yeah, he definitely showed levels, man. Cam J, you said Fury might come back. Joshua definitely possible. Yeah, man, that's what I feel like, bro. That still be a big money fight, especially over in UK. For them two guys who sparred years ago, and the story was AJ took Fury up top in sparring. So now I don't want to go based on the sparring wars, but I want to see them actually fight as pros. Another thing, speaking of Oscar Rivas, because I saw that fight with him and Rozicki. Uh, I thought Oscar Rivas was a bridger weight, the new weight division. I thought that was. I guess he bounces from cruiserweight to bridger weight. Um, in boxing, it's always something new. But I like Oscar Rivas, man. I like him. As a matter of fact, I wonder after this fight with Rozicki if Badu Jack would fight Oscar Rivas if Oscar Rivas is still boxing. Hey Cam J, are you hip to Oscar Rivas by chance? Also, a big showdown over in UK is the Ben versus Eubanks. Um, some people tend to think um, that Eubanks he can he can beat. I mean that Ben can beat Eubanks. Do you think Eubank versus Ben? How do you see that going? How do you see it playing out? Let me know in the chat, y'all. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it, y'all. Hit the thumbs up. Also, the rematch with Ben Whitaker, who's been known to showboat in the ring. He'll be fighting again. Um, so we'll see how he rebounds from the last time when he slipped or whatever. And a lot of people were saying that Ben Whitaker, they called him Ben Quitaker, saying that he quit. But he's saying he didn't quit. Uh, Jefe Aladente, I hope they do make the Joshua fight for sure, man. I would love to see that one, man. If they do make that fight, what will be your prediction? AJ versus Tyson Fury, man. 2026. Hello?
How the fuck does this work?
But I can hear you.
Oh, cool. How you doing, Eugene?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Cool,
Trying to
cool.
figure out how the hell to get
Ah,
on
okay,
the.
okay. I see you now.
Mm,
Now, yep, I can kind of see you. So just get, yep, there you are. Your
that's
perfect angle.
okay.
I can see you
That's
now.
so weird.
Yeah,
I do not know why it's at such a strange angle.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Welcome, man. Welcome, bro. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah. So, are you a Shakur Stevenson fan?
Yes, I am. Hold on a second. I'm getting some kind of disturbance. It's playing. It's like we're live, but it's also playing what you were saying in the background. Yeah, like there's. Man, this is freaking nuts. Why is this doing that? Oh, okay. Hold on a second. I gotta pause the one. Now let me go back over here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Sorry, brother. Technical difficulties.
Hey, technical difficulties happen, man. No big deal. They happen to everybody.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. He said, "Don't
Yeah.
play YouTube. Play it through the stream."
Gotcha. Yeah. Now it went away. It fixed it after I did that.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. So, did you see the Amari fight last night? Amari Jones.
I was actually at a punk rock concert. My friend was playing. I didn't get to watch. I got to see the Boots fight, but I didn't get to watch the undercard.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, so
Yeah.
before we jump into even some boxing talk, uh, let the ladies and gentlemen out here know who you are.
I'm Lucas McCain from Facebook.
Yep, from FB, and where you
Yeah.
from, Lucas?
I'm over here in Southern California.
Southern California in the house, y'all.
Mhm.
Appreciate you coming on, man. It's been a while. I've been
Yeah.
waiting to get you on here, and
Glad to be
hopefully,
here, my man.
hopefully, your man, the church, Sean will come on. Hopefully. So you know that the fight with Big Baby Miller is supposed to go down with Fabio Wardley.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. How do you see that playing out? What do you think, man?
It's hard to say. You never know what version of Miller is going to show up. And I know he's battled with the steroid use, and sometimes he looks, he's throwing tons of punches. He looks strong, and then he gets caught with something, and then we don't see him for months and months, and who knows how he comes back from that. Um, So yeah, to me that it's hard to say just based off of what version of him we get on fight night.
Facts, man. Facts. Because, like you said, man, it's just like when you did see him at what would be the peak, is it because it was performance enhancing drugs, or was it, the version of him that was the natural Big Baby Miller? Because if he doesn't have the PEDs, he probably ain't gonna have the high punch volume as he would if he's on something. He ain't gonna have the
Yeah,
same type of stamina as he would if he was on something. You know what I mean?
and we don't even know how long he was doing that. So it's I mean, there's the time you get caught, but how long were you doing that before?
Right. You make a good
And
point, man.
what is your body like? Those kind of things play havoc with your body. So what damage has he done to himself? Taking all the taking steroids.
Right. Yeah,
That
man.
kind of stuff shortens. It's like it's like living on fast forward. It's going to shorten your longevity in the sport.
For sure, man. It's going like you said, man, and it's like I mean, if I weigh him out, Big Baby Miller, Fabio Warley, Fabio still kind
Damn
of
this thing, man.
somewhat up and coming, but he did his biggest fight was Frazier Clark fighting him twice, but Big Baby Miller did fight Daniel Dubois, who's on the up and up right now. Daniel Dubois is at his all time high right now, and he fought Andy Ruiz. So at least he
Hmm.
did fight two familiar names, whereas Warley, his only name is Frazier Clark. So I would say Miller's resume is not much higher, but he probably got two big names, and uh, Warley got like one major name. You know what I mean? So it's an even match if you look at it from that standpoint.
I gotta show something real quick. This'll bring the church out if he's watching.
Oh, okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
This is his favorite, you know, piece right there. He knows where I'm at. I don't know if you could see it. Let me see here. When he saw that the first time,
Oh
he was
man, that's
like
live.
he yeah, he was like, "Hey man, like he's like, how much for me to take that home with me when I leave?"
Yeah, that's live, man.
Yeah, hopefully he sees that, he remembers, and then he gets on here so we could talk about boxing.
Right. For sure, man. Hopefully it'd be nice to get him on. It's been a while. He was on here maybe two or three times when I first started having people on here. I'm gonna jump back on Facebook real quick because I'm doing something new today and kind of corresponding from Facebook over to YouTube as well. Um, you said Whitaker next week. Okay, Cam J. So that fight's right around the corner. And Cam J, when is the fight Erickson Lubin? That's gonna be on Pro Box. Um so hold on, let me go on this see what people say on FB real quick, see if they got any questions for us. Um yeah, so do you of course everybody knows who Canelo Alvarez is. He's a legend in the sport. So do you know anything about his opponent, Skull?
Not really. I probably know as much as everybody else. He's another one of those fringe contenders that, comes from Cuba. I mean, you can't count these guys out. Look what happened with Saras and Jaime Munguia. Jaime was winning the fight, and then pow.
Bow, right,
You know,
right.
and those Cubans have a tricky boxing style. Canelo slowing down. It's you know, Father Time is undefeated. So we kind of have to wait and see what happens, and whether or not he's able to give Canelo problems, because you never know.
Right, right. Yeah, and speaking of Canelo, I'm always pretty much try to be straight up. I don't try to really straddle the fence, but even though I'm not a Canelo fan per se, I do
Hmm.
give him his credit. Like I always tell people, like the dude got a chin. I don't think I've ever seen Canelo
Yeah,
dropped. I don't think I've ever seen him on the canvas before.
yeah,
Uh,
he's.
he's
Oh
durable,
yeah,
man. He got durable. He gets better as the rounds get later in the fight. He gets stronger. He showed that with Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant, um, John Ryder. You know, he just like round 5 or 6, you'd be thinking like, okay, he ain't gonna be swinging a lot. He's gonna get tired, and Canelo just keeps turning up more and more and more. You're like, man, where does he get this from, man?
yeah. Once the motor gets, once his motor gets running, that's, you got that. He's going to be there just as strong in 12 as he was at 5, 6, 7. You know,
Facts, man, facts. Hey, Rico.
guys are able to have success with him. Like, he's as good as he is. He loses rounds.
Right,
He
right, right.
so he's a lot of people have this idea he's unbeatable, and it's not true. Like, Caleb Plant had a lot of success against him.
Yeah, he did.
Billy Joe Saunders was giving him problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he has a way of wearing people down, towards the end of the fight. But I mean, eventually someone's gonna be able to give him enough problems where they sneak away with 7, 8 rounds. And it's gonna happen sooner or later. That's why I
Yeah.
think
Hmm.
he had mentioned he had maybe 4 fights left. And it's probably a good thing, because he's been doing this since he was a teenager. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see, if anybody is able to do it, and whether or not he picks his opponents. Whether we get the Benavidez fight, or where he goes from there. After Skull, anyway, because it's at this point in his career, it's money. Like, he's, even though he's already made a ton of it. I mean, I don't blame him. The guy's already, he if he quit boxing tomorrow, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. You know,
Yeah, yeah, for
um,
sure.
but it would be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes out, how he chooses to, like, the next couple of opponents. I think it would be a travesty if we did get the Benavidez fight, but I mean, there's always, with every boxer's career, there's always some food left on the plate, you know.
Yeah, it does go like that for sure. Unfortunately, that is sometimes how it goes. It could be that type of situation, but we'll keep our fingers crossed, man, and just hope
Yeah.
that it happens, by next year. Um, somebody in the chat said Skull is good. Well, actually, my boy Rico. Shout outs to Rico, my homeboy out of Lincoln Heights, Ohio. Hey, Rico, you said Skull is good. He's a tough fighter, but not in Canelo's class. It won't go back past 7 rounds. Okay, man. I'm gonna do some more studying on Skull, man. This week, I'm gonna look at some more of his training clips and some of his fights.
Yeah,
Uh,
I to be honest, I haven't seen a single one of his fights that I can recall, at least. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing, look it up and see if there's any video out there.
for sure, man, for sure. Cam J said Erickson Lubin versus Holmes Jr. May 10th, Pro Box TV, to give people an update. So on May 10th, y'all, Pro Box TV, Lubin versus Holmes Jr. Jeff Aladente, you say if Skull fights outside, that could be a problem. All of Canelo's bad ones were outside fighters,
Yep,
Bivol and Mayweather.
and Laura.
Yeah, and Lara, yep. And Triple G he gave him a lot of problems.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Triple G's a real tough guy too.
That's another one. Guy, I don't know what that guy's chin is made of, but it's not bone, it's granite or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely
You
is.
see the type of punches that Canelo hit him with and the type of punches he hit Canelo with, and I don't, how many other fighters take those and stay standing, you know?
Hey man, my boy Cam J, my fam has something to say about Canelo, brother. He said, Canelo ain't got no real food on his plate though. Canelo love cherry pie too much.
Hey, cherry pie is pretty good too.
Rico said Canelo is avoiding Benavidez at all costs. Just a bad style matchup with him. We know style makes fights. What do you think?
I it's hard for me to agree with that only because Benavidez doesn't do anything that Canelo hasn't seen already. I mean, he has the size factor, and Benavidez has a pretty good engine for the most part, but he's coming, what he's going to do. He's coming forward and he's throwing tons of punches. So I mean, it's if this was maybe the Canelo a younger version, it would give him problems, but Canelo, I see Canelo seeing Benavidez coming from a mile away and outboxing, and he's going to be hitting David with some serious shots. So it's going to be interesting to see how he stands up to Canelo's power and getting caught with counter punches. Because I mean, David, as good as he does um, what he does, his resume is a little bit thin as well. Like he hasn't, I mean, and I'll give you an example. Um, a lot of people give him credit for being the one to, beat Demetrius Andrade. And I'm like, yeah, it's a good win. Andrade is a two division world champion, but who did Demetrius Andrade beat? He picked up two vacant titles. He most of his opposition was, B and C class fighters, and I think they gave him a little more credit than he deserved. And as soon as he fought Benavidez flattened him. You
Right,
know,
right,
and another one is the Vosdick fight. Artur Beterbiev fought a prime Vosdick and took his belt.
link.
You know,
You know. All right,
he
Rob, we got a link coming. We got somebody coming that wants to he wants to debate with you, brother.
you know he took he
Mm.
took a prime Vosdick's belt. David fought a old Vosdick, 40-year-old Vosdick, and mind you, he did really well. He was letting that man have it,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't able to. He didn't get a stoppage. He didn't put him on the floor. It was and he hit that man with everything but the kitchen sink. You know, so David to me, David's left a little bit of questions unanswered still. I want to see him against somebody that really is going to test his you know test what he's got.
Okay. Well, I got two rebuttals in the comments for you, Lucas. Somebody said Jeff Aladente says Benavidez is a power puncher with height,
Hmm.
and my my
So was
my
Callum
home.
Smith.
And then Rico says Benavidez fights in the pocket, but is a finisher unlike anyone Canelo has fought. Not saying Canelo can't win, but it's not a
Mm,
favorable matchup in my opinion.
hmm. Well, I mean, besides Andre, who has Benavidez really finished? Caleb Plant knocked out Durrell, and I mean, David was giving Durrell the business too, but I mean, he didn't, there's no knockout there either. You know, he's finished off the ham and egg guys that he was supposed to finish off. But I mean, where's the A level guy that he put away? Because he didn't finish Plant.
Now he didn't finish. He didn't finish Plant. Um, but to be fair, and I'm a Caleb Plant fan. But to be
Oh, me
fair, I
too.
felt like the ref was saving Caleb Plant. He kept interjecting himself in the way. He wasn't really letting
Yeah,
benefit. I think he kind of saved him.
yeah. I mean, it's easy. He was really overdoing it for sure. And it happens sometimes. Refs aren't perfect.
Facts. Yeah, they're not. They're not perfect. You're right. So we got somebody coming on video with us soon. Rob in Las Vegas.
That's cool.
He wants to come
Robert.
on because
Dang it, man! I can't get this camera right. There we go.
he's gonna be speaking on behalf of Benavidez and Tank Davis. So this will make a good debate for the day. when
I can't stay on for too long. I'm actually barbecuing right now.
Oh, I know you stay that grill. You keep that grill fire. You keep it hot
Oh
all
yeah,
the time, man. You stay on that grill, but I guess you can afford to in beautiful, sunny Southern Cali.
we got to take advantage of this weather.
For sure, man.
Got to do it.
Yep, for sure. Jeff Aladente, he says, I think Benavidez' height could play into the fight. Could be like a Usyk Fury fight almost.
It's possible too.
Okay, Rob, you said you're coming. All right, man, we're waiting on you, brother. Cause he ain't gonna stay on too much longer, so try to come on now if you can, Rob, so you can get a quick debate with Lucas.
Yeah, I left my nephew in charge of the grill. You know what I'm saying? Which I usually never do. So
So your nephew's in charge, huh?
yeah, he's got
The
to learn
grill,
someday.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. And shout out to my good brother Daryl Bell of Cincinnati, who is also a relative of the legendary Isley brothers. So if y'all are the Isley brother fans out here,
Wow,
uh, Daryl Bell is a first cousin of the Isley brothers. Salute.
that's that's got to be really cool right there.
Um, yeah, the link is above, Rob, where it says Ring Walk Video Ninja in the comments. Um, maybe see.
He's
This is
probably having the same technical difficulties I
Let
was.
me see. Okay, AJC. Can you send two people right here that want to link the two first names, Rob and Rico? You can send it to them. Yeah, text it to them. All right, Rob, we're gonna try to get it text over to you, and Rico, we're gonna try to get it text over to you as well, man. Absolutely, JC. La la la. Yep, the Isley
Ah,
Brothers. Well, well,
my
well.
man
Yeah.
Lucas. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Rob?
I'm all right, man.
What up,
Dude,
Rob?
what's up, man? Finally
Good
got a
to
chance
see
to
you,
see you
brother.
face to face, bro. I didn't know you was in Cali. I'm in Vegas, bro.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm taking advantage of this weather right now, man, because it's been miserable for a little
Oh
bit.
man, yeah, it's rough over there. I know when I go to Vegas, I'm dying over there. My uncle
Man,
lives over there, and I take him to the fights sometimes, and I'm like,
okay,
Unc, man, you can put the AC down past 90. You know?
right, bro. I turned it on last night, man, and then I'm like, okay, it's cool enough, and I turned it off. As soon as I turned it off, bro,
Oh
I
yeah,
was in that boy cooking. But hey, it's all right. But I wanted first of all, man, how you doing? Before I get into this thing with you, how you doing? You all right, man?
doing well, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're on the
Okay,
right side of the grass. You know
Okay,
what
I
I
see
that's
mean?
Cam
right.
J in the house too. What's up, Cam
What up,
J?
Cam?
How you
Okay,
doing,
bro.
Cam?
Salute,
So,
fellas. Salute, fellas.
so Benny, man, I'm gonna say this. It was his fault at 168 when he got stripped twice. That was his fault.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
However, he's been Canelo's mandatory for almost 2-3 years. The WBC refused to sanction that fight and make it happen because he's a cash register. In fact, he's dumped the WBC on more than one occasion, and they tried to come up when he was trying to fight Triple G. They tried to invent this little belt for him. He was like, "No, I don't want y'all." But now they know how valuable he is. You're asking
Yeah.
who has Benavidez fought. A lot of his matches they haven't been popular. Boo Boo was overexposed, and I said that like he wasn't that guy to me, and he because he's
Yeah.
fighting, and when he's with Hearn, Hearn got him paid,
Yeah, he
but
did.
Hearn couldn't put him in position to fight the big guys. He sold Boo Boo on, I can get you the Triple G fight and the Canelo fight, and he didn't come through with either one of them.
Yeah.
But Bivol, that was his test, man. I think if he fights Bivol, it would show where he's at because those are the two top dogs in the division. Everybody else is kind of falling
Yeah,
underneath.
definitely.
I don't think that Benavidez knockout power, I don't think it's going to translate up here because he's fighting guys heavier than him. And if we look
Yeah.
at boxing history, when the fighter goes up in weight, now his knockouts go down. When Floyd went up, his knockouts went down. Thomas Hearns is probably the only one that went up and down where his knockouts kind of stayed the same, but everybody else goes up because like y'all fighting somebody heavier. I
Mm-hmm.
think a good fight with B2B will be a good test because even though he's 40 past his prime and considered a grandpa, he still got the goods.
Yeah.
He can put it on him. So I want to see him fight those two. Everybody else, Callum Smith, I'm really not concerned with. He just needs that opportunity, and I think he was cheated out of it in this particular situation. And people like to bring up the fact that the WBC intervened out of the rotation. Well, here's some facts for you. Michael Eifert has been sitting in that IBF spot since
Yep.
2023 after he defeated John
Yep.
Pascal. The
Yep.
IBF was not going to touch either Beater Beef or Bibble because they're getting their sanctioning fees off of that.
Yeah.
And why mess that up? So even though they're not really in line with Turkey, they're collecting money off of him,
Oh yeah.
which I think is unfair. So they could have ordered that. But I want to see him. I think this, man, and call me crazy. I know we go back and forth with the thing, but if Bivol beats him, which I don't think he's going to, I think they're going to try to set up a unification later on. It's smart to take the trilogy, do that, and then know that you got the belt like Skull has the belt.
Yeah.
And Canelo, and they set that up. They know they're gonna give it back to Canelo, man. I think they can pull that off. It's just a matter of the two parties coming together.
I agree. Yeah, I
Just a matter
agree.
of two parties coming together.
That would be the ultimate. If I see Benavidez fight Bivol or Better Beef,
Mm-hmm.
and he even in a loss, if he makes a good showing of himself, that's really gonna tell me like, all right, he is this guy that they're making him out to be. You
Yeah.
know, because like you said, those are without a doubt that's the 1 and 2 in the division. You know,
I would give him a better. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a Benavidez dude, but I would give him a better shot versus Bivol than Beater Beef. If I'm saying his name right, guys, heard people
yeah,
call him Beater Beef because
yeah,
they're two. Both of them work off coming off the front foot.
mhm.
They need that momentum coming forward. Kind of like what's that dude name? He fought Triple G. David Lemieux.
Oh,
Lemieux
Lemieux,
Lemieux needs
yeah,
he needed to come forward to get his offense. He couldn't stand in the pocket, and that's why he got the hell beat out of him.
hmm
Beater Beef come. You can hit Beater Beef with a car. He gonna keep coming. That would be a litmus test for real for him. But I think he can. I think he has a better chance with Bivol.
I
Being
agree,
honest.
and yeah,
Being
I
honest.
agree, and I would say just the punching power, getting hit with Better Beef punches. I'd rather take 2 or 3 Bivol punches than one really solid Better Beef punch. You know,
Yeah, because he hit Bivol and his face showed it at the end of the fight. He
yeah,
won, but his face
man,
showed it. Like, yo.
yeah. We've never seen Bivol lit up like that, where he actually looked like somebody, like we knew he was in a fight. You
Yeah.
know,
Do you think Canelo would now come have Benavidez now that he's up there, try to make him come down or him come up?
you
You
know,
think Canelo will go after that?
if Canelo really, to me, if Canelo was smart, now that David has a belt at 175,
Yeah.
there's your reason. If you were waiting for one and looking for one,
Mm-hmm.
there's your reason. Go take that belt off of him. you do a couple different things. You take he has something you want, because Canelo did want to be undisputed at 175. Well, David just gave you an avenue for that, you know,
Yeah.
and that's I'm one of those silver lining guys, so the WBC, while I don't agree with what Mauricio did, um it's we can always make the best of it, you know
Mhm.
and that now
I
we
think
have a reason. Now there's it's like, hey, this is a no-brainer. He's got a title up there. Go take it off him, satisfy the fans, and let's make a fantastic fight that has the makings of one of those all-time great fights. you know One of those fights that, hey, you want to bring someone into boxing, throw that fight on, after it happens,
right.
if it turns out to be as good as it's built up to be.
Right. All right,
I think the
y'all.
WBC did that though. Go ahead.
Brother, we got Cam J in the house, so I'm gonna let him
Cam J, what's up,
say
brother?
say say a little
Salute.
something on
How you
this.
doing,
Good,
my
man.
man?
What's good? Salute, fellas, man.
Hey, what's
Everything,
up,
man.
family?
Everything, man.
Interesting,
Still a lot going on, bro.
interesting. I already know, brother. Still, hey, it's ain't my way, man. I just got done doing a 3 hour stream, and I did not expect myself doing
Yeah.
3 hours today. But I was like, I had this chick Town every day, like she very knowledgeable in boxing. That was crazy. So she was, she was on there cooking. So I just had to let her cook a little bit. Some people just
Mhm.
be needing to express themselves on certain boxing topics and stuff, man. I be understanding that for sure. But particular interesting topic for us, y'all fellas, with Benavidez, man. All right, so are we saying that Benavidez isn't? Let me ask my guy Lucas. Are we saying David Benavidez isn't deserving of a fight with Canelo?
Oh, yo, those are done. You take those off, nephew.
I'm not saying
Hold
that.
on real
I'm
quick.
saying he
You
should.
guys, I
He
got
should.
to deal with these ribs. How do you do
I'm not
this?
saying that. I'm saying he should have, because that's the one fight that Canelo knows for a fact that he would have to go to a whole nother level to
Yeah.
beat Benavidez, and that's why he keeps saying pushing the fight and delaying it. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking like, dude, what did Eric Berlinga do? What did
John
Munguia do
Ryder
at
do.
168?
Right.
John Ryder, Rocky Fielding. What did all of these guys do to deserve a fight with you? You picking and
Absolutely.
choosing, bro.
Well,
Just
absolutely,
say
bro.
it.
You already picked my brain on it.
Yeah,
You
man.
already picked my
Come
brain
on,
on it
bro.
right there. Because I mean, that's my thing. I mean, you can't say that these other guys isn't doing anything, and then say he can't say David Benavidez isn't doing anything, and then these other guys that he's fighting isn't doing anything. Like, I mean, like that's the whole fact of the matter. Like the whole thing with Canelo is on his way out, and he doesn't want to lose, and he knows the severe of losing to a guy like David Benavidez. You lose to him, then you lose a lot of your Mexican fan base. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
basically passing the torch to him if you lose to him, and he knows a high chance of him doing so. That's why he's been hesitant on that fight. In particular. I mean, and he understands the whole fact with the fact of losing to him. He don't understand the fact you not fighting him is making you lose a lot of more respect from the
Credibility.
Mexican fans. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
you're losing a lot of more respect from the Mexican fans by the fact that you not fighting him. And everybody know that you were supposed to fight this man for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like he was the guy that was your mandatory for 3 years, and you like I mean, like I said, I've been telling people the main problem is the WBC because they the ones that did mandate the fight. They allowed the whole ducking, to happen with, Canelo pretty much have been Benavidez for the
Hmm.
whole 3 years. And even along with the Bivol situation, you know what I'm saying? Like the Bivol situation is the WBC fault too. I mean, because y'all rushed to mandate that fight, and y'all know that these guys possibly was going to have a trilogy fight. So y'all mandate that fight right there. But the whole issue is y'all offer more money in the Bivol fight for the fight Benavidez. then he was going to make in this rematch with
Mm-hmm.
this trilogy with Baturbiev. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like you turn like Bivol turned down $8 million, and he's not even going to make even close to that in this trilogy. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
glad you brought that up
Fighting Baturbiev. Like, and
because
that's the part. Like, they 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 listened to what Turkey said when Turkey told Bevel, like, hey, watch what you're doing. Don't make your choice wisely and everything. They listened closer to him, and they vacated the title, and they said, "Fuck it, we're fighting a trilogy." And you got Eddie Hearn over here on record. He kept putting it on notice throughout this whole weekend, saying, "Like, oh man, it's no, we were set to fight the trilogy the whole time. We shook on it, and we were signed for it and everything. Like, but why did y'all go in negotiations in the first place with Bevel in the first place? Just only y'all only statement is just because the fight was mandated. Like, no, like y'all were talking. Turkey brought this man David Benavidez all the way to Saudi Arabia. What is you bringing him for? Like, you gotta
I
ask,
don't.
what are you bringing this man for? Like, this man's coming all the way to Saudi Arabia in the thoughts of possibly getting the winner out of these two guys, and he doesn't even get the opportunity. You're blocking him from it. You know what I'm saying? You're
Bro,
telling him like, no, fuck him. We're going to have the trilogy.
they said that the reason that the trilogy didn't go on, one, because Benny got up during the fight and left, and it was like, how dare you come to a fight where he flew you out there and leave it, and that's why he shut him out. I'm like, dude, no. The WBC, what I saw, they said that they let the first fight happen, but the winner had to fight. The winner of the second fight had to fight Benavidez. Uh,
Right.
but like, still though, dude, you you told this man that he was next. And I told Eugene, this was a little while ago, I said, man, the best shot for Benavidez, realistically, to get a shot at either Beterbiev or Bivol, will probably in 2027, because seeing how they only fight twice a year, uh, he's going to have to stand in line. And then somebody else was on, and you just touched on it, was on in a little group chat I was in. They were saying, oh, Eddie Hearn said they already had a contract. I said, dude, why you bother negotiating? All you had to do is come out in the first place and say, we have a contract for a trilogy. No negotiations, none of that. It happened after Turkey was like, yo, you do that, bro, and I'm cutting the oil spigot off. And Benavidez is getting chopped up online, man, for being the email champion. It wasn't his fault. He vacated. What was he supposed to do?
Right. Yeah.
But
What was he supposed to do?
DB David Benavidez shouldn't get no slander, bro, for this because he did everything he was supposed to do to make himself be the mandatory for Canelo and Bevel. And both,
And it,
168 and 175. And he got played around with so long, you know what I'm saying? Bevel give him the title. It is what it is. David Benavidez don't want to get the title that way, but he's champion now, so people got to deal with it.
oh, bro, you said something interesting. The money part. Somebody said, no, Suleiman said that they only made 2.7. Bill only made 2.7 in the second fight. And then somebody else was saying, no, they made 10 million apiece in that second fight.
Cat, cat.
Or the
they
first fight. One of them.
got they lying, man. They ain't make that money, and then people don't even know Turkey is cutting a lot of stuff off right now, bro. You already see what he's doing with
Man,
Shakur Stevenson right now.
man.
Like Turkey
Yeah,
is
yeah.
cutting his funds with a lot of people right now. Shakur
That's
Stevenson,
gonna
the
be
main person. So
that's the
everybody
interesting,
else ain't
bro.
exempt. If he threatened Bivol and tell him like, yo, I'll cut your water off, he will cut your water off because he already done cut Shakur Stevenson water off already.
Yeah,
Like
that's gonna
he's
Yeah.
be
on
interesting.
record right now. Like today, I posted it in a group chat earlier. Jay, I posted it. Brunch Boxing. They had this report yesterday where they were saying Eddie Hearn says Shakur Stevenson will not fight on Riyadh season or ring events. This comes after Shakur called foul on Turkey Al Sheikh's broken promises on the on Zepeda fight. So you got Turkey already cutting off Shakur Stevenson and telling him like, you ain't fighting on Riyadh season or ring events no more. I
Right. But
have
that's
no
nothing.
value in you. You don't make me no money, and you're nothing for real. Like I'm not about to spend $2-3 million on you. when you don't bring nothing to the table, and that's what he's telling Shakur, and the Shakur fans don't understand that. Shakur has
bro.
not much value at all.
And he been doing that he been doing that since he's came in. Anybody who disagrees with him, anybody who doesn't bow their knee to him, he cuts him off and like, yo, he did it to Tim Tszyu. When Tim Tszyu was like, yo, look, I don't, I work with you, but I'm not bowing my knee. Well, you don't understand. I'm cutting you off. Tank saying, I'm cutting you off too. I'm cutting anybody who has a backbone that stands up to him. He's gonna cut him off. But now I didn't know that about you not fighting on Riyadh season. But dude, Shakur, you supposed to be a headliner, bro. You fighting on undercards. That was the worst mistake you could have ever done. You're not dude. You couldn't even headline your own paper and put your name on the top of a paper and headline it. You're fighting on undercards. You ain't did even Keyshawn Davis with 13 fights to his name is headlining fights. You got three belt champion fighting on undercards, bro. Make it make sense, man. Make it
Facts.
make sense.
That's a
Come on,
fact,
man.
bro.
And ain't
Like that.
this his last fight on that? Ain't this part of his last contract? I mean, fight on that.
I mean, well, Shakur is supposed to. He's claiming that this is supposed to be his last fight on his contract with Matchroom with the Zepeda
Okay.
fight. But right now, the whole Zepeda fight, the problem with the Zepeda fight right now is they trying to find money for the fight because Oscar and Eddie don't want to pay for the fight. Like I've been saying, Eddie Hearn's been on record, in a couple interviews this week saying that they that him and Oscar's going to go to the zone and see if they can fund the fight. Pretty much, Turkey's not involved. They're trying
Yeah.
to get the zone to fund the fight. They don't want to put their own money for the fight. And I said, why don't Eddie and Oscar don't want to put their own money for the fight? Where's their money at? I thought they was the best promoters. That happened to all of the self-proclaimed best promoter talk that I hear from Oscar and Eddie. They ain't got no
Somebody else is
money
gonna
to fund Shakur and Zepeda. Come on now.
somebody else gonna fund that.
I got
Go
a
ahead,
message from y'all's truly Mike Ware. he got
oh, do I really want to hear this?
he said Mike Ware said I told y'all boots easy. Tell your boys stop sticking up for the PBC.
Oh, what the last part he say?
He said I told y'all boots easy. Tell your boys
We
stop
said
sticking up for
boots.
the PBC.
We said boots. What
Sticking
are we
up for
talking about? We picked boots. I
I'm trying
picked
to
him by decision.
understand. Like, see, because that's the thing. He was in my comments on like one of my videos that I posted from the fight last night. I think it was the Boots fight. He was in my comments and he was like, "Yeah, I told you about Boots." I'm like, "Okay." Like we all said Boots was going to win. Like nobody said Boots wasn't going to win. Like I'm just
Right.
saying, I don't. I'm trying. I don't know what he misunderstood in between last week or whatever. I don't know, but I'm just saying in general, nobody thought Boots was going to lose to Stanionis by far, my guy.
Dude,
Like,
hey Mike, hey, Stanios was touching Boots. Tell him to fight Crawford. He gonna get put in the grave. He gets hit too much. Boots is that guy, but he go against an elite like Crawford or somebody, he gonna get put down. He get hit to that. And don't you be trying to jock Boots now that he over there with Eddie Hearn. He still ain't no star. He went over there and took cash, but he's still in the same position star-wise when he left from fighting on PBC platforms.
I got a whole deeper perspective because I broke this down on my show just now earlier. Boots last night was supposed to be Boots, last fight on Matchroom as well, from what
I heard that
people were
too.
saying. So my thing is with Boots, he has this whole desire of wanting to, become undisputed at 147. Now, what's the best way for you to become undisputed at 147? The only two people you got to get is Brian Norman Jr. at top rank and Mario Barrios at PBC. If that's your last fight on the deal and you're a free agent, what's the move? What's the easiest way to get the Mario Barrios fight?
PBC.
Going to PBC. Now, stand over there to Matchroom, that's cool and all. Like, but no, PBC just fed Stanionis to you last night. they ain't gonna be so willing to feed Barrios to you so easily. And you got a great relationship with Steven Espinosa already. Boost needs to think about, Eddie Hearn as a promoter. Has he really done good for your career since you've been with him in these 3 fights that you've been with him?
Nope.
Yeah,
He fought.
he helped you get undisputed a little bit, but that was only because of him, being Turkey's teacher's pet, pretty much. But just saying in general, like no, he hasn't done much for your career, just like he hasn't done much for a lot of other American fighters' careers. And it just goes to say that this Boots, if he really wants to become undisputed, your best way would, if you're a free agent, make a move with trying to work with PBC to where you
Yeah.
can get the Barrios fight as a free agent
I
by
don't think he's gonna get the
yourself,
Norman fight. I don't think he's gonna
cutting
get the
out
Norman
the
fight. Not right
cutting
now.
out the middleman. But
Right,
here
right,
here goes
right.
the ticker though. With PBC and Top Rank working together, if you knock Barrios off and you over there with PBC, then
You can
it
beat
makes up
Ennis.
for the undisputed right there. It puts Norman in the corner. I got 3 titles at 147. You got that last title. What you gonna do? Like, what you gonna do? You gonna
Mm-hmm.
sit there and keep fighting guys in Japan that we don't care to see you fight? Or you gonna come and try to get undisputed and fight me for these other 3 titles? What you gonna do? That puts the Normans in a big corner just now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the best move with Boost would go to PBC. End up working with them. They can probably work like a little co-promotional deal with you. You already got Boost promotions going on. I'm saying you keep that going on. PBC, they will help you, grow your brand, of course, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
try to turn you into a pay-per-view star. You already see what they're doing with David Benavidez right now. He's turning into a pay-per-view star. He just did 200 plus thousand in the fight with him and Morrell. So those good numbers right there for him and for
Yeah.
both of those guys. So
Okay. I
no,
didn't get the point of
no,
number that.
no Boost Ennis. No, make a move with PBC to where you get the Barrios fight automatically there. If you side with PBC, they'll feed you Barrios. Then they like, oh, you one of our guys. We're gonna push you as our guy. You the
Mm-hmm.
top guy. Boom. We'll feed you Barrios now. But we're not gonna feed you Barrios unless you sign with us. Especially if you over there at Matchroom. That's not happening. We just
But
gave
I
you
felt
Stanionis. We cashed Stanionis out. We ain't about to cash Barrios out so easily.
yeah, yeah. We gonna bring you in here and let you do that. And I said that. I said the only way that Boots will become the next level is if he clears out 147 and becomes that guy. That's his only request because it's not defined. There's no names in there right now. He is by far the biggest name in there right now. That's his only recourse, and he can get that done, like you said, if you go over there with PDC,
Now, what is
which is odd.
Ortiz standing? Virgil Ortiz.
Virgil.
Virgil at 154. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
Virgil just kind of
okay.
like, Virgil at 154. He's the interim champion. He's the WBC interim champion. But right now, Sebastian Fundora and Xander Zayas, that fight is ordered right now from the WBC and the WBO, and I just reported this earlier on my show too. They were under negotiations, but Top Rank and PBC they asked for permission to get more time to negotiate the fight. So they first they was supposed to be the deadline was this week, but now the deadline got pushed back to April 25th for Sebastian Fundora and Xander Zayas. And if they don't get anything resolved by then they'll go to purse bid. So with PBC and Top Rank, obviously, they're sounds like they're getting close to trying to get that fight made, and that leaves Virgil Ortiz kind of in the loop a little bit, like out the loop, like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on? What's my next move and stuff. I can't get Sebastian Fundora, even though I'm the interim champion, because they got
Right, right.
Xander Zayas in this fight right now. So, Virgil's is kind of just chilling, just kind of waiting to see how, some stuff play out right now a little bit. But, kind of the conversation pertaining to Virgil and Boots, right now I'm not pushing the 154 talk on Boots anymore because I just understand that he's fully committed to try to become undisputed at 147. And if
Right.
that's his thing, then I'm a fully support it. I'm a fan of Boots, so I support it. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand, and I gotta be logical that if Barrios and Norman ain't trying to fight you, how long you gonna be willing to
Right.
just
Stick
keep
around. Yeah.
making that weight at
Right.
47? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't want it to be a Earl Spence 2.0 situation for Boots because he's still young and he's very talented. I mean, put on a master class last night. I mean,
Yeah.
like I was live last night. I did like a last minute little watch party and stuff last night. Got a few viewers in there, and you know what I mean. Was watching the fight, and it was just like like Boots is like one of them guys I've been pushing this the last 2 3 years about Boots. Like Boots is definitely a guy that I feel is a pound for pound guy. He just hasn't got the opportunity. And last night was a fight that I felt it was tailor made for Boots. For our Stanionis style. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't real tricky a little bit as the guy Karen was a little bit in the fight that he just had with Karen and a little bit with David Avanesian as well, a little bit if you want to add that as well. But last night, Boots, I felt like he was going to have one of those Romaine Villa type of performance, and he definitely did last night. He put on last night, and you got to give credit to it. But as far as 154, I don't want Boots to, you know, kill himself at 147 if he's not going to get those undisputed fights. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, if you're not going to get those fights, there's no reason to stay at 147. All the bigger money fights is at 154.
Right.
Like,
You
and
you
that's
bring up a
even
good
more,
right.
even like a better thing with 154 too. Like adding as far as like the part as far as the PBC aspect. Like if he goes to PBC, like if he would, even though just to just put this out there, PB like Earl, like he's not going to anywhere. I think Boots is going to stay put at Matchroom. That's just my personal belief. Seeing from the post presser last night and everything, just me personally. But I'm just saying hypothetically, if he was at PBC and he decided no he wasn't able to make the 147 and get those 147 titles along with the Barrios and Norman, then you got a lot of 154 smoking PBC big money fights. You already in the loop. You good.
I think he's
Yeah.
gonna stay
And
there for like
like you said,
another.
Cam J, man, that's a good point about him, not staying at 147 too long. Kind of like David Benavidez. Once Canelo kept playing the game, he getting the runaround. He went to
Mm-hmm.
175. So
Bruh.
yeah, it'd
Got to
be
make your own
yeah,
lane. Got to
yeah.
And
make
he
your
was
own
cut.
lane. You know what I'm saying?
And he was
Hmm.
cutting weight, dog, to get down to 168. He's walking around as a cruiserweight, bro. He do better moving up anyway. He was cutting
Facts.
hella weight.
Yep. And somebody in the comment, my dude Rico Rowland, shout outs to my dude Zone 15. Rico Rowland said Benavidez can only fight who is willing to get in the ring with him. And that's real.
Yeah, that's big time, man. Like, dude, and just looking at all of boxing history, man. And I hate it when certain fighters suffer like that because if you are not bringing anything to the table, crowd wise or financial, you basically got to try to make your own lane, and you're not gonna get a shot. Like Mike McCallum was ducked big time by the all about by the big four. But he ended up going to 175 and fighting Roy Jones. He got a shot at 160. He became champion in both of those eras. Uh, like I said, Aaron Pryor, short change. You're not bringing in the crowd. It's a business, and that's what some people don't understand. It is a business. Even when they were talking to Triple G trying to get the big money fights, I said, dude, go back and look at his purses leading up to the time he got uh his first $2 million fight with Willie Monroe. He was making 360K average. No big promoter gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna take on this whole thing and put you in the ring and put you in a pay-per-view. And if it bomb, you got your money, but I'm suffering because I paid for this fight. It's just an unfortunate situation where fighters get put in a position like that. And like I said, Benavidez is getting chopped up on almost all the platforms that I go on because he's an email champ. I'm like, bro. And they were trying to throw Callum Smith in there, like he turned that fight down. I'm like, Callum Smith is not the champion. Why would he fight Callum Smith and Bivol is the mandatory? That don't make no sense. But I heard he's trying to fight Callum Smith now. Um,
Yeah,
if
because
they,
I
if
think
they,
he had Callum Smith has like an interim title in one of the
okay,
divisions, one of the sanctioning bodies. So that's the reason why they're trying to make that fight happen.
okay, would that take place here in the States?
Yeah, it'll be in the States because David
Okay,
Benavidez, that was the thing too. They had the riff with Turkey too, because Samson Lickowitz, he was on, interviews saying that we're not going to kiss the ring of Turkey. Like, no, we're he blatantly saying it, just no, not caring, just cold, no, basically saying like, no, Turkey wants us to fight in Saudi Arabia. We want to fight in the U.S. No, we're building our fan base here. No, we're on pay per view and stuff. What's the problem with the fight being in the U.S.? Why did the fight have to be in Saudi Arabia? And Al Heyman's already telling them like straight up, like, yo, nah, you ain't fighting over there.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna fight over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't doing nothing over there. We already see what's going on with Turkey over there, fixing fights. You know what I'm saying? People getting
Yeah.
sick over there. You know what I mean? The man over there, he paying people in cryptocurrency. like the
I
man messing your flights up, like you know what I'm saying? He's doing too much over there. They know
bro,
what's going on over there.
I heard a lot of fighters want to get paid their monies over there, bro. It came out last week in this underground thing I was in. I was watching on YouTube. They was like
Yeah, it's
Turkey is
true.
not. Oh, okay. Oh
Carl,
yeah, I
Carl,
think
Carlos Adames, he was one of the first fighters that mentioned it, and then they mentioned shout out to Brunch Boxing on all platforms. On Brunch Boxing, they mentioned that it was Carlos Adames and Virgil Ortiz, and Virgil Ortiz came out and said that it wasn't true. But then Brunch Boxing,
yo,
they're a solid source with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much said that they standing on what happened, standing on what they heard, standing on their source, from what they heard from, and Carlos Adames didn't say anything, but Carlos Adames came out and did speak out about for us the fight being a draw with him and Hamza Shiraz, and speaking out about the flight, saying that his flight was messed up a little bit, from going there to the fight and etc. and stuff. So yeah, man. Like, like people knows what's up, man. PBC know what's up over there. Al Heyman and them, they're not, no, they're not stupid. They know what's going on over there. They're cautious with how they move with their fighters and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, no, I can't see you. I can see you and Gene.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
think
don't
the
see.
screen got me wide
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, I don't see Rob. I seen him before, but I don't see him. So what do you think about that? We kind of messaged about Shakur saying that he won't the Tank Davis smoke, and you feel like it's cap. So you want to elaborate on that one?
Man, bro, don't get me started. Me and my
Shakur.
friend Ty, we just cooked on Shakur for about a good like hour and a half. Body out of my show. I don't even lie. It didn't even mean to be like that. I was thinking I was gonna cook Shakur about 30, 40 minutes. It ended up being like a whole hour and a half. Like, cause the Shakur it's just he out of pocket right now, bro. He out of pocket. My thing is, why are you calling out Tank?
Yeah,
The
man.
crazy part, the interviewer didn't even ask him about Tank. She asked him about Zepeda.
Right,
This
right.
man, this man, he like, oh, I'd rather fight Tank instead, But I think he got something going on right now. Of course, bro, you just had an interview last week saying that you think Tank gonna lose the rematch to daggone Lamar Roach. Of course, Tank got something going on.
Right,
Like, is he a dummy? Like is this dude dumb or is he stupid or dumb? Like, which one at this point?
right. Or just a mind game or something. I don't know.
Come on.
All right. Make sure your mic is on if you can hear me. I, I see you, but I don't hear you. I can't hear you. You okay? I can't. Can you put in the let him know?
Yeah, I think the
Okay, there
screen,
you
like you
go.
got to
I can hear
bring
you
the
now.
screen down there for his picture, I think.
Yeah, I can
Because
hear
it
you.
got me on the wider screen a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear you now, but it just there you are. Now you're back. Yeah. All right. Can you hear me? Okay. See, now it's like I can see him, but I don't hear him.
that, but I can see both of y'all.
And I can hear you now, Rob. I don't see you, but I hear you.
Okay. Um, they offered Shakur a 1 fight deal. I think earlier this year, he said no. But now you see that Turkey playing you. Now you want to start name dropping and doing all of that. Nah, bro, you didn't really want that fight. If you really wanted it, you'd have took the 1 fight deal. And that's the ideal situation.
Right.
You got a one fight. They weren't trying to hold you hostage because most of the time when you need to do a fight deal, they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna get you for 3 fights and we're gonna have rights to your next fight and all that. No, we're gonna offer you a one-off, and you turned it down for big money
Man,
too.
I got a crazy perspective that I ain't never even know. I thought about this, but I ain't never even talked about it. My thing is, all right, say PBC did give Shakur that multi-fight deal. You think of the names that would have been on that deal. You probably would have had Frank Martin and Edwin on that deal. Probably you would have had a rematch with Edwin, Frank Martin on the deal before you even get to Tank. You probably might not even get to the Tank fight if you would have had a multi-fight deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying in general, like, you would have had a multi-fight deal with PBC, bro. It would have probably been a bad look. It would have been a bad do. You know what I'm saying? And
Bro.
the main goal for these fighters should, you should be wanting to fight the biggest guy. And one thing about the Shakur fans, what they've been doing, of course, these guys be in my inbox and going crazy. Like I had this dude that I was trying to have come on my show today to debate, but he was perping. But um, the Shakur fans, they always talk about Shakur with the call outs. Like, oh, Shakur calling out Tank. He calling out Cepeda. He calling out everybody and all of this. But when it comes to your words matching your actions, the actions don't show. Look at Shakur over there at Matchroom Boxing right now. If he really wanted to fight with Zepeda, well, Oscar De La Hoya said, if you want to fight Kid Austin and William Zepeda, sign with Golden Boy. And he didn't want to sign with Golden Boy. He said, no, I'm going to sign over here with Matchroom Boxing. He calling out Tank Davis, talking about he want to fight Tank Davis, but he signs over there in Metro Boxing. He didn't even want to take the 1 fight deal that was offered to him last year from Tank Davis and PBC. Then he talks about fighting Lomachenko and fighting Raymond Maritella and all of these other guys from Top Rank. And he didn't want to re-sign with Top Rank. Crazy part, he had a 3 million
Guaranteed.
3 million guaranteed per fight for 5 fights. Pretty much, he's getting 15 million, out of the deal with Top Rank for 5 fights, and he only made 2.2 million fighting Josh Padley. Turkey tells the man, "I'm not paying you more than what you made for Josh Padley. You got your water cut off from Turkey. Turkey saying you ain't fighting on no more Riyadh Season the Ring magazine cards." So you cut off your funding because Eddie Hearn is your promoter, right? So who is Eddie Hearn? Who is the guy who funds Eddie Hearn's his fights, like his business? Mr. Turkey. So you're cutting off your water because now you got Eddie Hearn over here begging the zone to fund the fight for Zepeda and
Bro.
Shakur now. Because Shakur is the only one that's dissatisfied about money. You ask Dagon Williams Zepeda about what, if he good on his money. Williams
Hey,
Zepeda's fine.
I'm gonna try
He's
to come back here on
good.
the chat. I'm gonna try to come
Yeah,
back here
like
and do another one.
Okay.
Williams Zepeda, he's good. He's fine. Williams Zepeda don't give a damn if they gave him 200,000 for this fight. Wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like Shakur, the
Bro.
only person that got the problem. He the only one with the problem talking about money. And that Eddie Hearn got to beg the zone for them to fund this fight because him and Oscar don't want to spend their own money. It comes back full
That's crazy,
circle
man.
that they
That
don't want to spend their own money for this fight.
that's your fighter that you claim you love and supposed to be and supposed to be trying to help out. Well, get him to fight, bro.
Where's
I'm
the
telling you,
investment? Where's the investment from Eddie Hearn and Shakur? He ain't invested in Shakur since he been with him over this year.
bro. I'm telling you right now, if it goes to a purse bid, the money that Shakur is at, he's about to, like I said before, he's about to find out what his market value really is. The worst thing that could have happened to him was Turkey overpaid him. So now he like, oh, I'm this, I'm worth my skill set is this, but I'm worth this financially. No, you're not. If you go to purse bid, somebody's gonna show you what you really made of in terms of your market value, and he's gonna be standing looking stupid and be like, "Oh no," because Eddie Hearn already pulled Pacheco from a purse bid too, and I'm like, dude, like, why is he going around pulling all these cats out of purse bids? Turkey's supposed to have his own money, right? And Cass was always telling me, oh, they print up their own money. No, bro, they got a surplus because it's something called a budget, okay? It just don't work like that. Because if they was just about printing money and giving it out, Canelo asked for 150 million. Okay, just go to the printing press, print up 150 million and give it to him. It don't work like that, bro. And the fact that
Whose fighters is these? You see who you just named? Pacheco, Bivol, like all of these guys connected to Eddie Hearn in Turkey. Like you see the connection in this. Now you got
yeah.
Shakur. Like the purse bid for Shakur. Like if they don't get the fight negotiated by May 6th, is going to go to purse bid. And that's the worst thing for Shakur to have right there because it's going to show your true value. And right now, Turkey already telling the world pretty much that he don't value you. He don't even want you on the card. At least he got Devin Haney on the card, and he done played Devin Haney cop. You know what I'm saying? He playing you just as worse than Devin Haney. Like,
you know the crazy part, Cam? Even when he left Top Rank,
he's making less money over there with Eddie Hearn than he was now. And his whole purpose was I was trying to make more money than I was before leaving Top Rank because they wasn't trying to give me the fights or they wasn't trying to give me the money. The thing is, I don't even think Shakur cared about the fights. That's what I'm saying. He don't care about the fights. He care about the damn money. When he signed on Eddie Hearn, he had the interview where he was like, when we signed Shakur, his first two fights was supposed to be in Saudi Arabia. We supposed to fight Joe Cordina in the first fight. Then Shakur hurt his hand, and then we was going to fight Zepeda. But then we ended up having the whole Kid Austin situation and everything, and now we're trying to fight Zepeda. But the thing is, the fight has to be in the U.S. because we can't fight in Saudi Arabia. He's saying that we can't fight in Saudi Arabia. Why? Because Turkey don't want him to fight in Saudi Arabia. He don't want nothing to do with Shakur. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That first bid was kind of it's still mystery, dude, because it was supposed to happen on August 20th, and it just went up in smoke. Like nobody said nothing about it. The date came and went, and I was sitting there asking questions. I was even on Brunch Boxing trying to find out what happened. They said Suleiman's mom passed that week. But I'm like, you still could have went ahead with the purse bid. It just vanished into thin air. Like you still got other cats running. That's what you put him in position for. So I'm trying to figure that out. But dude, again, he gonna find out his. In fact, he was gonna get $5 million to fight Joe Cardina, which was ridiculous to me. And they were trying to set up a separate pay-per-view away from the Bivol card. Like you had to pay for his, but ESPN Plus is gonna show the rest of the card. I'm like, bruh, that's gonna flop if he goes in that direction. Nobody's gonna pay to see a separate fight card on a fight card. Who dumb idea was that?
Yeah, bro. I mean, just think. It goes back to that interview I was mentioning with Eddie Hearn before he signed Shakur, where he said, "I'm not going to pay Shakur what Top Rank and Bob Earl was paying him," and he's literally not doing that. He's not even paying him at all. He was waiting for Turkey to pay for him. Like, you ain't even paying him at all. You waiting for Turkey to pay him. Now Turkey ain't paying him. Now you trying to look for the zone to pay him. You ain't paying him anything. You're not doing nothing for him. Like that's why I said the other day when I had my video, I was like, man, Turkey is ruined. I mean, Eddie Hearn is ruining Shakur Stevenson's career, and the Shakur fans, they just being delusional about it. Like just sitting there like this is the best thing smoking for him.
No, it's not, man. If he gets off his contract, he need to just go do everything on a fight by fight basis, bro. Flat out, because you put yourself out there market wise. You fighting on undercards, and you went over there sucking up for money. Now Turkey dissing you. Now you really ain't got nothing to work with. Just do a fight by fight basis, bro.
And on top of this, the thing is and the whole problem is you trying to get these cross promotional fights and not go straight to these promotional companies to get the fights, and you want big money, but at the same time you putting what you having Eddie Hearn in the matchroom, you adding money that you had to spend because you had
Hmm.
to pay them, and then you
Yeah.
got Jay Prince, and then you got your other manager. So and then you got your team. So you got a lot of hands in the pot over there. That's why you asking for big bags over there. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And right now, your bag is getting limited right now because if you go to purse bid, I'm telling you, think about who the people that's gonna get pick up that fight. It's only three people. Either Turkey if he want to do something with it, if he
and he
decide
ain't.
he want to, do something and try to, screw over
Hmm.
Shakur, because that's what Turkey would do.
Bro,
He
he'll
would
put like
pay for
eight.
the fight and he would screw you over.
Bro, he'll put like 500K on the fight.
He'll put that fight, man. Turkey and Oscar, they'll put that fight over there in Mexico in a small ass ring over there and make that boy try to dance in a small ring like he in a pinata. Like
Right.
that boy's Zepeda, they're gonna benefit everything for William Zepeda over there if they want to do that. Like, and no, don't let Oscar get that. Eddie Hearn has a bad track record on purse bids. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We seen what happened with the Boots and Karen fight where he lost the purse bid in a rematch for that. You know what I'm saying? Even though they ended up hosting the fight because
Yeah.
they didn't Karen's team obviously didn't want to host the fight 100%. They just wanted to make sure they secure the fight pretty
Right.
much. But no, he lost that purse bid. You know what I'm saying? He losing the purse bids to Karen Chukaduzian. Like you know what I'm saying? He'll lose a purse bid to Oscar.
Bro,
Like
that's crazy. And them the only two people that's gonna bid on the fight. I don't think anybody else will pick that fight up. But if they do, it's gonna be at a very cheap rate. Gonna be very cheap. They're not gonna
bro,
overpay for
they
that
man,
fight,
they
bro.
gonna
Because
they
they're
gonna
not gonna
make
lose
it
money on it.
they gonna make it so uncomfortable for Shakur, bro. They gonna make it uncomfortable with the money, with the venue, the ring, everything. They gonna make it uncomfortable for him. He gonna be in there, he gonna be praying that he win that fight so he can get away from them boys. I keep telling
Shoot.
Shakur, get away from them boys, man. Eddie Hearn and them, bro, they gonna have you in a jacked up position,
No,
and that's
he bugging
exactly
with
what
her.
Shakur in right now.
Hey,
And bro,
hey,
and you
hey,
know what?
y'all.
Go ahead.
But
On FB, I got a comment. So he says, the ugly Zoe. He said, please, they put Zapata with Shakur in Prudential, like Eddie's saying, is doing close to 2M at the live gate.
No, it's not.
uh,
He also said,
oh no,
the ugly Zoe said,
oh
he
no.
won the purse bid for T.O. versus Cambosis over Bob.
Tio and Cambosis. Actually, no, he didn't. Triller
Ted.
did. Triller won that actually. Triller won the purse bid for Tiafimo and Cambosis. That's
And they
cap.
took a hit.
And they lost out of that fight.
Hmm.
So, but the answer to the question for us, his not the question, but what he's saying pertaining to Shakur doing 2 million at Prudential in New Jersey with Zapata, not happening. Not happening. He can barely do 2 million with that on Artem. So if he can't do 2 million with them, then like I don't expect it with Zepeda. I know he's probably thinking far as the Mexican fan base with Zepeda and everything, but you know what I'm saying. From what I'm hearing, the fight will probably possibly be placed in New York. That's what I'm hearing. That so the fight wouldn't be in New Jersey, by the way, and then like Shakur doing the big gate. A lot of people in New Jersey, some people don't like Shakur.
Okay,
Like
and
he don't even have a full fan base in New Jersey.
the ugly Zoe said Shakur did 1 million gate versus Yoshino Kansas or something, and did 900K versus Artem. He says Zapata is a bigger name than Yoshino and Kansas.
Yoshino $1 million gate cap. Now he did have 1 million viewers on ESPN, but he didn't have a $1 million gate. Shakur hasn't done a $1 million gate. Like he hasn't. You know what I'm saying? He's been close until sometimes though when he's been at home, but he hasn't done no $1 million gate. But
No, his only $1 million game is gonna be against either Tank, against Tank.
then look at him right now. He's fighting on undercards. Like hey, Eddie Hearn ain't even trying to make a main event for cards. You know what I mean? Like he lucky he don't get main event if the zone
Oh,
decides to fund this fight. He'll be main event for this card. With him as the pater. You know what I mean? But the fight as far as what I'm hearing is possibly going to be in New York. Like in New York, it benefits Shakur, but it is a lot of Spanish people out there in New York as well. So Zepeda can get some love from the Spanish people as well. But it comes down to they have to get that fight negotiated because, like I said, if you go to purse bid, it's not going to benefit Eddie and Shakur.
Bro.
Like the
Even if
odds, yeah.
they get
What?
75% of the venue, bro, he's still not gonna come out on top with that.
Man, Shakur's not a draw. Shakur, a lot of people don't like his style of fighting. Like a lot of people don't even care. Like Shakur hasn't even been on pay per view yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
he's
another
like,
thing.
what are we talking about? Like what are we talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude,
uh,
that's why even Haney and Lama shot him down. Like, he don't bring nothing to the table that I want. Like, well, I'm not fighting him.
That
the
all Shakur got is a belt. That's all he got. That's all he got. Just like Devin Haney, all you got is a belt. Like that's all y'all got to bring to the table. Y'all ain't no draws. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all not y'all style of
Bro.
boxing don't cater to the fans because the fans, what do fans of boxing want to see? We want to see knockouts. We want to see dudes getting their ass whooped. We ain't seeing
Mm-hmm.
that from these two guys. Yeah,
Bro.
then these same guys be the same guys that be saying, F the fans. Shakur been on this F the fans campaign, for a whole year now. You know what I mean? So y'all
Bro,
deal with that.
that fight they're doing in New York is so stupid, man. Put it out at least, bro.
okay,
You
okay,
about to
Zo.
lose.
He said he gonna
They about to
DM.
lose
You got
hella
somebody else in
cash
the
on that.
comments?
He said he
Go
got
ahead. You got somebody else in the comments?
yeah. The ugly Zo said I could provide receipt. He gonna send me a receipt.
Okay.
Dude, I would have put that fight at least in the New York in the theater in the Madison Square Garden. You got it out in the open and you paying big bucks about invite only. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, bro.
Yeah.
Dumb. I'm like,
Well,
oh, they trying to get exposure, dude, bro. No, but if it's your money, it's your
I'm
money. You
hearing
do
the
you want
I'm
with it.
hearing the I'm hearing the venue for the Times Square fight ain't even like it's like not even locked 100%. Like it's like still iffy for real. So I
Okay.
don't know, bro. It's weird, man. Like I mean, we gonna see what happened. This fight is like the promo is lackluster for this fight right now. We ain't hearing much. We talking about the fight more than the media is. Like for real.
Yeah,
Like you know what I'm saying? Like
I haven't seen
yeah,
no
the
buzz for it at
promo's
all.
trash right now for that fight, bro. Like
Michael Ware
I
is
don't even.
entered. Michael Ware is someone who know their stuff. Are you referring to the ugly Zo? Who are you referring to?
Someone who knows their stuff. Who he talking about?
Are you coming
Funny
on,
where he been
Mike?
funny that boy. He can come
Okay.
on here and get cooked.
All right. The ugly Zo said, and shout out to the ugly Zo. He said, Livegate get reported to commission, so it's public
Yeah.
information. To call it cap mean you're either ignorant or that info or don't like them.
Well, show the information that he did 1 million with Yoshino. I don't care if he
He
did or not.
did
Honestly.
he did 480K in Atlanta versus Herring in the ATL.
Gate.
Still ain't a million.
Jeff Aladente was talking about Cam, but both do. He said, y'all know y'all stuff. That's what Jeff A said to Cam and Rob.
Hey man, look, it's real simple
The Ugly
economics,
Zo said,
bro.
yes, live gate. Atlanta not even a boxing hotbed.
You said you did. He did four. So my thing is, what is your case? Like, is you trying to prove a case that Shakur's a draw? That's what you trying to do, or you trying to prove a case that he's done over 1 million? In gate. Like, what's your case? Like, I don't know. Understand this case? I mean, I understand, but I mean, thing
I
is, I
know that
mean,
I know that
you
case.
have anything that you're trying to prove for us the case doesn't matter because the man has not been on the pay-per-view, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's
And
not
he
a
fighting
draw, bro. A lot of people don't know Shakur, bro. A lot
and
of
he fighting on
casuals do not know
undercards.
Shakur.
He fighting
He's
on
fighting on
undercards.
undercards and like he wasn't even the co-main event in Saudi Arabia, bro. The man just got booed in Saudi Arabia, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Like, this thing that's like it's really irrelevant at the end of the day, as far as the numbers. Like, if he done 1 million at home against Yoshino, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I know that last fight didn't do $1 million gate. You know what I'm saying? You talk about Yoshino. Let's talk about that Artem fight. Did he do 1 million on the Artem fight? No, he didn't. Now he want to say, let's talk about the numbers. Let's break down the numbers. 45,000 pay-per-view buys in the US for the last Crescendo fight. And Shakur was the guy that was screaming that he was the best fighter on the card. He was the biggest fighter. And then this man, they do 45,000. Where is Shakur fan base for that 45,000 pay-per-view buys right there? He was up there glamoring about the 340,000 globally. He ain't got those numbers. Those numbers ain't got shit to do with Shakur Stevenson. He a U.S. fighter. Where the 45,000 at? Where the numbers at from the U.S.? If he's so big and bad, if he got a lot of fans, Shakur don't got no damn fans, bro. He got the same amount of fans as Devin Haney, about like 50 of them. Ain't many of them, man.
Including themselves. Dude, and it's common sense out here, dude. Turkey is, dude. If you really think about it, you don't really have to go do that much research on Turkey. He's putting all his business out there. He's telling the whole world what I'm going to do. And he's telling Eddie Hearn them, when I get done, I'm gonna steal your fighters. I'm gonna do this to you, Top Rank. I'm gonna do this to you, Golden. He got contracts with these cats, man. It's real simple math out here. So a lot of the information is being put out there by them, to which they told the Ring magazine, we doing this, we lie all the time. He said that out of his mouth. We lying. This is what we doing. And now you shortchanging Shakur. You told him he's gonna pay this much. And I really think it has a lot to do with the fact that he signed Canelo. I heard Canelo is going to make at least 80 million per fight. Somebody else I watched said 100 million per fight. No shorter than 80. So now you got to pay that man. You got to come up out them funds. Slash prices. And the league that they talking about, you're not gonna get no A-listers for that. Nobody's going to, especially the cats that's making 4, 5, 7 million. You think they're gonna come in and make 700,000? But that's like going from the executive office back to the mailroom. No way. Shakur might be able to get in there because that's how much he's worth.
Hey, shout outs to my dude up in the bus, C bus, Columbus, Ohio. Shout outs to Sergio, my dude from the West Coast, residing in Ohio right now. What's going on?
Salute.
What's up, man?
It's
a real interesting time right now going on in boxing, bro. I'm just like I'm chewing through a lot of hands, spitting out the sticks, but I'm watching like Cam's stuff. I'm watching Eugene's stuff. I'm watching. I forgot. I just posted the box source. Him. I've been running with brunch boxing for a long time. I said,
hey Sergio, cool. Much love to you too, brother. Much love, bro.
So, dude, I go to underground sources, man, because like a lot of these big networks these big people ain't putting their information out there. In fact, when Turkey's event only did 7,000, Boxing Scene reported on it. I went back 2 days later, and he told them to take it down. It was no longer available. So I'm like, bruh, because I punched it up, and the article is no longer available. Why you take it down? And then you had Tank do 18,000 by himself against Roach. He killed the whole card by himself, and nobody on the undercard could even come close to that. Even Shakur.
I'm just saying, like, bro.
Come on, man.
Like, bro, he did 200. Tank did 262,000 in the U.S. by himself, and his global numbers didn't even come out yet. You know what I'm saying? Bro, and Turkey and Last Crescendo does 45,000 in the UK and does 340,000 globally. That's a flop. Well, all of those names on that card, and they was calling this the best card ever. That's a flop.
You should have did at least $1 million. You could even get to $500K.
Sergio, you talking about you said you got beat Canelo to be the best. You said you got to beat Canelo to be the best. I mean, well, Canelo got to fight these guys to show that these
He
guys
is the
can prove
best.
if they the best. I
He
mean
gonna kill.
that's just I just seen it. I seen it. I'm looking on Facebook too, so I just happened to see his comment on there. He said, "Can we touch on the Benavidez?" I'm like, "Well, I mean that's simple. I mean, shit. Canelo got to want to fight these guys. Canelo don't want to fight these guys. He want to fight Jaime Munguia and Edgar Berlanga. You know what I mean? So I don't know."
That's on him, dude. He know what he going when he know what he's getting when he's going against the monster, the Mexican monster. He knows that.
Bruh,
And I
the man
and I
Jaime
said,
McGee is running back a fight with the guy Saras that just watched them, and this guy Saras only had like a 20 or 30% knockout rate. You know what I'm saying? And wasn't even that much active for real, bro. Like he's coming off a loss to this guy. You know what I'm saying? If Jaime McGee lose this fight, bro, he's done.
Yeah, he
He's
got to win
done.
that one, man. So Ross, I looked at his work earlier, man. He's not that fast. He got power, but he's slow. He ain't really got no speed, no average footwork. Nothing about him is at a top level. So Jaime McGee.
Sergio said, think about it. Canelo lost to Mayweather when he was a young cat. I mean, okay.
hey, hold on, wait. I got something for you, Sergio. So let's talk about that. Everybody who said he was wet behind the ears. Before he fought Mayweather, he fought Carlos Baldomir, a past.
He want to win easy fights for big paydays. You know what I mean?
Bro, I
That's
think he's
just in
gonna
the
lose to
position that
Crawford.
he's in.
I picked Crawford to beat him. Crazy as that sound, I think
think
Crawford
so.
gonna beat him. I think he gonna have to do. Crawford gonna have to really sell it, especially over there in Saudi Arabia. But I think Crawford can beat him.
Yeah, I don't think Crawford gonna beat him.
Dude, I wish Crawford would though.
Hey, the crazy part. Hey, I was speaking on this on my show earlier. Hey, did y'all notice that the Bud and Canelo buzz kind of like died down a little bit for us, like the traction and the talks about it a little bit now recently, like the last little week?
A little bit, just a tad bit. I can't say I've really been paying attention to it because the Benavidez thing has taken over everything, and the Tank fight with Roach has taken over everything. So they've been getting the most attention, to be honest.
Sergio said, "Nah, Crawford struggled last fight. He don't see him doing nothing with Canelo."
I want him.
What you think, Jay? What you think for us?
I'm
Like you
thinking
think the traction for the Bud and Canelo fight kind of down there a little bit?
I can't see you,
I
Cam.
think so. Yeah, I ain't really heard it like,
I can't see you, Cam.
I ain't really heard it bubbling like that.
Oh yeah, I got my camera on.
As far as
Okay.
Canelo and Bud, I ain't really heard it bubbling like that. But
I wanted Bud to take a tune-up fight at least at 160. So
you said that before too, yeah, Rob. You said
I
that.
want him to get acclimated to the weight, even if it ain't even got to be on top 20 guy. Just fight somebody up there so you can know what it feels like to have your stamina, what you got to work on your speed. Because the more weight you pack on, and you swing and you miss, that can take a lot out of you, bro. But he's opting to sit and just go straight up there. But I still think
I'm starting to think it's a chance I wouldn't even be surprised if we don't even get this fight at all. Real shit. Turkey thinking about this money. Think about it. All of Turkey's money, one of the big reasons of why he's kind of dishing some of these fighters and shit, like Shakur Stevenson, is because of all of his money is invested into Canelo Benavidez right now. Yeah, all of Turkey's money is invested in Turkey. I mean, far as all of Turkey's money is invested into Canelo right now. Talking about paying this man 100 million per fight. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, think about what they're trying to pay. Bud Crawford. How much Bud Crawford wants just to fight? Canelo. That man probably wants 20 plus million.
Yeah.
Easy. Like, think about the undercard for that fight. Ain't that undercard gonna be trash? Ain't nobody you're gonna see a whole bunch of prospects on that card.
Bro, no, you're going to see like literal trash fighting, like paper and bottles fighting. Like that's how trash is gonna be, bro. You
bro,
gotta
it ain't
pay.
gonna be nobody on that car, bro. You gonna see a whole bunch of Kroger workers up there in that car.
Very pay the Smith workers.
Like, bro, like all the money's invested in Canelo, and like that was Turkey's problem. That was his issue because he was thirsty to get Canelo over there to fight on his platform. You know what I mean? He
Nope.
didn't have to. He ain't had to, pay all that money for Canelo. Canelo was cool making his 40 million fighting Jaime McGee and John Ryder and Edgar Belega. But
Bruh.
you give him an opportunity to make 100 mil. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and take that.
And you know what, man?
And I don't gotta promote the fight either. I can just fight in
Right.
Saudi Arabia.
And get paid, bro. Look, man, what was shocking about that though, because they was going back and forth. They hated each other. I'm gonna do this, and I don't like the way he talked to me. Canelo said that about Turkey. I don't like the way he do business. But then now you bowing your knee. Now, if you had not been going back and forth, and you be like, "Yo, I want to, make this deal," and I get it. Boxers need to get as much as they can, you know, before they retire. I ain't mad at that. But you were just dissing dude. But now you kissing his ring. Come on, man. I get it though. I get it.
Man,
But like Tank said, all
talk
money
about
ain't
it.
good money. Like Tank said, all money ain't good money.
But
Send him
Tank
out.
has been right about it. But that's the thing. Everybody be giving flack about Tank and be saying Tank, he ain't smart. Like Tank is very smart. Like he's the one who told y'all that Turkey was foul for us, be fixing fights and all of that stuff. He told you that they running a little funny business over there. Look at all them guys getting sick up there. You know what I'm saying? He told you about Eddie Hearn, as far as Eddie Hearn not doing nothing for the American fighters, as he's not doing nothing for Boots Ennis for real and Shakur Stevenson right now. You know what I mean? Like Shakur, Tank Davis told you about all of this. You know what I'm saying? And all of this shit has came true. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm saying. They be mad and be telling oh, Tank is a dummy. Like Tank is, and then they get mad at him saying those type of things, as far as, talking about Turkey and stuff. But a lot of this stuff came true and I can't no, it's no one denying about it.
Bro, anybody who talks about Turkey gets chopped up. My man, I forgot. I used to follow him so hard. Kevin Io, when he put out the report about the Madrigal fight, he said they lost over 10 million. Bro, the comments in that segment, they told him they went in. But then like a week later, CSAC came out and basically they confirmed what he said because they showed the numbers. And everybody had to shut up and eat their crow then. So it's like he bought up most of the media though. So they just licking his boots right now, putting out information. But anybody who has spoken against him about the money, oh, well, he got his own money. He ain't gonna never run out. Like, bro, yeah, you forget Turkey's really just a middleman. It's somebody over Turkey who's giving him the money to put out. And once they start seeing that he's not getting an investment on their return, they're gonna be like, you know what? We're gonna shut down shop. We're gonna shut down shop. I see it coming.
Facts.
It ain't they're not gonna last because you trying to monopolize the whole thing, first of all. And you got Dana White, who is a crook in itself.
Man,
And now you're trying to set up a UFC thing, bro. It's
price from Tank for real, to be honest.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, well, I can hear you. You
Yeah,
good.
so we have a lot of internet technicalities and issues with the internet, but shoot, man, I appreciate y'all coming on as always, man. I'm gonna get ready
Yeah,
to
for sure, bro.
uh close it out, man. But y'all always come
We'll do
with
your thing, man.
some real good informative stuff in the niche, just so everybody out here know when it comes to like the gates and the pay-per-views and a lot of behind the scenes. Rob and Cam J are top notch when it comes to the behind the scenes things that ties in the boxing or whatever. My niche is more or less I like to do the analytical part or just what's in front of you at that time, like when these fighters step in the ring or whatnot. That's more of my angle of it. I was never too deep into the background, but these guys are really deep into that. So whenever they come on, they're gonna bring up some stuff to kind of let y'all know some more insight. Um,
Absolutely.
so like I said, shout out to everybody here. If you're here on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, please. Sergio, my guy, man, that's my dude up there. Like I said, in Columbus, I get back up up there, man. We need to link up. And much love to you. Uh, the Ugly Zoe, shout out to you on the East Coast, man. Shout out to
You
you,
already
brother.
know, fellas.
Cam J, as
Salute,
always,
fellas.
man. I appreciate
You
you
already know, fellas. Man,
stopping
JC,
through,
man,
man.
salute, fellas. You already know, man. Subscribe to KJ Network, man. We got content on the daily, man. Put
Always.
in the work, man, for sure, fellas.
He's always got something cooking up. The link is also, if you scroll through the chat, the Cam J link is on there as well, y'all. Rob, be safe, man. We're gonna do this again, like we always do. All right, so um, hopefully everybody can still hear me. I think. Okay. Uh, yeah. Shout outs Cam J Network again. Shout outs to my guy, my fam. Uh, Rob. Shout outs to him. Jeff Aladente, Michael Ware, Cuz Down South. Uh, like I said, everybody from the Midwest to the West Coast, down south, back up East Coast, to the UK, and all across Europe and Asia and everywhere else. I want to thank you for taking your time to jump on. We did something a little different today, so I was corresponding between YouTube and FB. So we'll be doing it a lot more this way in the future. All right. So make sure, like I said, you could jump down in the description area if you're interested in some merch or whatever, and you can get your fix or whatever international. Like I said, salute to everybody out there, all the boxing fans. One love. And I'll catch you on the next round.